אני מתכבדת להזמין את הסופרת והמורה דוקטור אריקה בראון. בבקשה.
Daf Yomi has been the way that I open my days. It's been an anchor in a life of lots of change. It's hopeful to me to be studying this and completing this with hundreds of other women, thousands of women globally who are watching this, who are celebrating this triumph of Talmud Torah. I am pinching myself right now. In the 7.5 years since I began Daf Yomi, I turned 50, I celebrated my 30th wedding anniversary and my 30th year in Chinuch. I lost one of my close friends to cancer. I opened a center for Jewish education. My beloved Bubi died at 100. I stood under the chuppah with 3 of my children. My youngest is learning at Midreshet Lindenbaum right now, and she's well naughty. I became a grandmother and grieved with friends who lost parents and some who, lo aleinu, lost children. As I traveled the Talmud's 2,711 pages, my learning was a sacred anchor for all of these significant transformations. Learning the Daf enhanced my daily sense of blessing, helping me actualize my own life's purpose, in large part because there was one enduring question that kept surfacing for me in learning the Daf. What is human life worth? Sometimes very complex sugyot can be reduced to a variation on this simple but profound question. Life's worth, for example, is at the heart of the 8th parak of Bava Kama. Hachova b'chavero chayav alav mishum chamisha dvarim benezek, betzar, beripui, beshevet, uboshet. One who injures another is liable to pay 5 types of compensation: damage, pain, medical costs, loss of livelihood, and humiliation. Money cannot relieve great physical or emotional losses, but it signifies accountability and responsibility as part of a just society. Bava Kama presents one argument after another to show that ayin tachat ayin was never to be taken literally, and here's one of my favorites. Tanai Rab Dustoy ben Yehuda Omer, ayin tachat ayin, ayin mamon ata omer, mamon o eno, ela ayin mamash. Amar, tarei shaita eno shel zeh gdola, ve'eno shel zeh ktana, ha'ich ani korei be'ayin tachat ayin. According to Rav Dustoy ben Yehuda, should one read an eye for an eye literally or not? If the eye of one who caused the injury is large and the eye of the injured party is small, you can't literally apply the phrase an eye for an eye. Your eye, my eye, they're not the same size. Ayin tachat ayin can never be executed literally because it cannot be executed precisely. Echoing Mahatma Gandhi, an eye for an eye makes the whole world blind. Perhaps the Torah used this expression because the only way one can ever know what the loss of an eye feels like is to lose one. It focuses us deeply on the worth of every human life. This parak of Talmud has real-world application for millennia. Money can never compensate for life, but sometimes it has to. Kenneth Feinberg, a D.C. attorney, was appointed Special Master of the United States government's September 11th Victim Compensation Fund. His was an impossible task. When people are grieving, the last thing they want to think about is putting a price tag on someone they love. Whether a CEO, a firefighter, a janitor, a cook. Feinberg called it the most harrowing experience of his professional life. In Bava Kama, as in the 9/11 Fund, the worth of life is determined in response to violence. Surely, I thought, there must be a way to measure human life as a response to joy or virtue. I found what I was looking for in Erchin, the 5th Masechta in Seder Kadshim. In Vayirka Kav Zayin, a person who donates his or her worth to the Beit HaMikdash does so in thanksgiving or happiness. V'deber Hashem Moshe limor daber el bnei Yisrael v'amarta aleim ish ki afli neder be'erkecha nefashot l'Hashem. Speak to Bnei Israel and say to them, when anyone explicitly vows something to God, the equivalent of a human being. Human worth was assessed on a recognized compensation scale, and that amount was vowed as a gift. The most intimate, perhaps, form of tzedakah. In fact, the Emek Davar, Rabbi Naftali Tzvi Yehuda Berlin writes, "Lefi apshat shu pele la'asot mitzvah she'en ratzon Hashem bakach." It's called a pele, a wonder, because it's not something that God asked of anyone. It represents a desire to give more of ourselves than we were asked. It's hard to find a contemporary analogy to Erchin, but it inspired me to finally give voice to something I had long wanted to do. I come to the Siyum having checked 2 goals on my spiritual bucket list that are profoundly connected to the question of life's worth. Finally completing the Daf Yomi cycle and donating a kidney. I have not spoken about this publicly and not much privately, but as of the past July 15th, my left kidney is in a man in Wisconsin who, like me, has 4 children and 2 grandchildren. Reflecting on the message of Erfin and my incredible good fortune during these years of learning, I finally decided to give thanks in a way that forced me to think about what my life was truly worth to someone else. Anyone in good health can do this. It is a serious decision. It's also one of the best decisions I've ever made. No doubt, many others in this room have been influenced by their learning in unexpected ways. The donation helped move me from the Beit Midrash of my mind to contemplate the real-world suffering of others and the impact that one life can have upon another, even and especially a stranger. The transition from Baba Kama to Erfin helped me understand the value of a life not only when violence strikes, but also as a powerful response to joy. And BTW, by the way, you can do Daf Yomi and keep all your organs intact. Daf Yomi also demands self-sacrifice. Self-sacrifice for the sake of higher growth. How blessed I am, we all are, making this Siyum together in Yerushalayim, here to celebrate not only our learning, but how our learning changes us, helps us value life, and lifts us up to a place of joy. Zeh hayom asa Hashem, nagila v'nischa bo. This is a day that God has made. Let us rejoice and be happy.